It's called Come From Away, and it's up for 7 Tonys at this weekend's awards, including Best Musical.
And it tells the story of a retired American Airlines pilot from North Texas who flew on 9/11. Jennifer Lindgren spoke to the woman whose memories have become one of Broadway's biggest hits.
In the Broadway musical Come From Away, the lead character is the pilot of an American Airlines jet.
He said girls shouldn't be in the cockpit.
One of the flight crew members who, with thousands of airline passengers, was forced to divert to Canada on September 11th, 2001.
Once a pilot, always a pilot.
Beverly Bass is that pilot in real life. She was the captain on a Boeing 777 flying from Paris to Dallas on 9/11.
And we were right over the middle of the North Atlantic when we heard on our air-to-air frequency that one of the towers had been hit by an airplane.
Hers was the 36th of 38 planes that landed in Gander, Newfoundland that day.
There are airplanes lined up like sardines.
The warmth and hospitality of the townspeople and the travelers forever grateful to them is the subject of this season's surprise hit musical on Broadway, up for 7 Tony Awards.
I think the thing that shocked me the most is we walked into the terminal and there were tables and tables lined up with food, and it was apparent to me at that time that the people of Gander had literally stayed up all night long preparing food for nearly 7,000 passengers.
It's a story of generosity, Bass says, needs to be told. And her own remarkable story is woven throughout the show.
1986, the first female American captain in history.
From the time she was 8 years old, Bass knew she wanted to be a pilot.
I knew I wanted to fly the biggest, fanciest airplanes, and they belonged to the airlines.
After college at TCU, she took flying lessons. In 1971, the big airlines wouldn't put a woman in the cockpit, so her first job was for a mortician.
So my first job was flying dead bodies, and nobody said anything. Everybody was happy, no complaints from the back.
But Bass persisted, and in 1976, American Airlines hired her, the 3rd female pilot in the company's history.
Suddenly I've got my wings.
An entire song in the musical is about her journey.
You could confidently say we are obsessed with this show.
Bass retired in 2008 and now lives in Argyle with her family. She's seen Come From Away 68 times and formed a close bond with Jen Colella, the actress who plays her role.
Everyone walks out with a smile on their face. That's going to make me cry. The applause that goes on after the show is endless.
It made her realize the importance of her own role in history for women in the sky and on September 11th.
When our country was suffering so greatly from such a horrific tragedy, there was something beautiful going on just to the north of us. They will often say, "This has allowed me to have closure."
In Argyle, Jennifer Lindgren, CBS 11 News.
What an incredible journey. Bass is attending the Tony Awards, and she tells us she's carrying a fancy Playboy purse signed by the cast of Come From Away. And you can watch the entire award show right here on CBS 11 Sunday night at 7. She says that she is obsessed with the show. I haven't even watched it, and I feel I'm obsessed with the show. We got to make a trip to New York City.
Well, the storyline in itself is wonderful, and the fact that a woman who lives in Denton is such a huge part of this, that's wonderful.